Hello, my friend. Welcome back. This is Mumma Magma Yoga. My name is Tamu, and I'm here with an energy practice this week that is designed to help you come back to center, to feel your roots, to feel safety, to feel grounded, to feel protected, and to help you find your inner strength. So we're going to call on Durga, the goddess of courage and inner strength. And we are going to use some breathing practices to help us come down into our sense of safety, our sense of home, and then tap into our sense of strength, our own inner strength. So let's start off by, you can stand or you can sit. Find a position where you can sit up nice and tall or elongate through your spine. And that can be sitting on a couch, that can be sitting in a bed, it can even be lying down. When you arrive, settle in, feel into your body. What are you feeling today? What's happening in your tummy? What's happening in your heart? Do you have monkey mind? Do you have crazy monkey mind? Are you feeling an extreme amount of emotion? Are you feeling really impacted by world events? Are you feeling really impacted by your own life, going through a lot of changes and launching out onto the scene, and perhaps there's stress that comes along with that? It's not easy. It can be scary to burst out into our own scene. So allow yourself to feel that. Feel the sensation in your body too. Where do you feel sensation, whether positive or negative? And where do you feel lack of sensation? So is your lower back giving you trouble? Are your knees giving you trouble? Are your shoulders, your upper back, is your neck having a hard day? And then where is there lack of sensation? How's your arms? What about your scalp? What about down in the side body? What about your thighs or your calves? What about your internal organs? So just give a little assessment there. Close your eyes so that you can really be present with that. And just listen to the sound of my voice. So we're here together. We're going to create some space together. We're going to create a sense of safety together and come into our sense of strength and inner protection. So closing those eyes, I want you to imagine that you can drop a line from your thinking mind all the way down. So your attention, your awareness, your sense of I am is dropping down from the third eye, from the A drive, from the mind, and coming down, down, down. Imagine it comes through the throat, sifts down through the heart, comes into the belly, drops down through the sacrum, and finally lands in the perineum, right in the sits bones area, right in the groin. Just imagine that it can drop there. Then we'll do a little breathing exercise. So focusing on that space, keeping your attention in the root chakra, in your groin area, in your seat, the seat of your soul. Feel that that heavy We're going to take breaths where we're breathing in for a 4 count, pausing, breathing out for a 4 count, pausing. And we'll do a few rounds of that to help breathe into that space and help calm the nervous system and bring us back to a sense of center. So keeping those eyes closed, you can even take the left hand down below to the root chakra center, palm face up, and then bring the right hand to rest on top. Just finding a little bit of a cradling here. Beautiful. Then we'll take a deep breath in together. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Drop those shoulders. Another time, deep breath in. Exhale, side out. Let it go. Drop those shoulders. Elongate through the neck. One last time. Deep breath in. Exhale. And keeping the eyes closed, we'll start to breathe. So exhale out, then we'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. 1, 2. Exhale out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom for 2, 3. Inhale in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. 2, 1. Exhale out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. 2, 1. Inhale in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. 2, 1. Exhale out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. 2, 1. Inhale in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. 2, 1. Exhale out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. 2, 1. Last round. Inhale in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. 2, 1. Exhale out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now allow the breath to return back to normal, keeping your attention in your root chakra, feeling that heaviness in the groin, that sense of sedentary, grounded, rooted. And whatever images come to mind, allow them to dance across the canvas of the mind. And maybe begin to call in your inner strength. Now, keeping the eyes closed, just listen to the sound of my voice and allow my voice to guide you. When you think of your inner strength, when you think of the concept of inner strength, what comes to mind for you? What does that draw up? Is it the image of your mother or your father? Is it a home that you used to live in? Is it hard to envision what your own inner strength looks like or feels like? Is it when you get angry? Do you all of a sudden have a rush of inner strength and you're able to assert yourself more? Do you see yourself as being strong through your ability to carry on, your ability to get up in the morning when you don't want to, your ability to care for others even when you have nothing, your ability to love someone fully and completely? What does it draw up for you? Because ultimately, where our inner strength comes from is our connection to our true, authentic self. We can have layers on top of that. We've all experienced trauma in our lives, and we've either been given encouragement to know and acknowledge and activate upon and be able to draw upon with ease that sense of inner strength, that inner fire, that sense of self-worth, that ability to take care of ourselves, or that has been somehow damaged and maybe blocked or torn down to a certain extent, to whatever extent that is. And so our ego has one sense of what inner strength and inner protection mean. And we have a limited view, or our view of what the strength that we can draw upon, how much we can draw and how much energy we actually have and what impact we can have upon the world is limited by our perceptions, by the perceptions of the ego, of what we have been taught by society and what we have learned throughout our lives and have taken on as our conditioned behavior, our response to the world. But the universe has no limits on the amount of energy that it has. The molecules in our body, the energy exchange between the sun and the earth, and how energy moves and energy never dies. Energy never is wasted. It's when one form or expression has had its time, it simply moves on to become another form or expression. So you can think of that as compost, material breaking down and then feeding, creating soil and being broken down by animals and bugs and creatures in the soil, and then that soil becoming nutrient rich from that decay and then feeding plant life and helping to further and grow flora and fauna. So that's just one way to look at it, how energy is never wasted. So we have this idea that we only have so much we can draw upon. We are small, we don't have an impact, or we're consumed by delusions of power, or we're someone who's very strong and self-assured in ourselves. So all of those things are sort of layers, they're pictures, they're facades, they are paintings over top of the real essence. So one way that we can find our sense of inner strength, one way that we can draw on ourselves to protect ourselves, to create a sense of being protected, being safe, is to remember to tap into our source self, our sense of I am, behind the ego. So you can think of this in terms of a spiritual way. You're tapping into the universe, you're tapping into the earth, you're allowing the earth and the universe to provide you with more energy. That's how I think of it. You can also think of it just as on a scientific level, where the exchange of energy between molecules is a never-ending supply. There is always that space between everything that is feeding and constantly creating anew. So in order to do that, I invite you now to sit at that seat of your soul, sit in that place of the root chakra, and branch out around you. So begin to, with your eyes closed, the inner eye begins to lift its eyes and scan around and starts to see what's happening in the environment of the root chakra. And we maybe invite in a sense of looking at the world with new eyes. Try to be open to whatever images come up for you, and to be open to a sense of universal groundedness, of universal strength. So imagine that your root chakra is in fact tapped into, is connected at a very deep level to the core of the planet, and thus the core of the galaxy, and thus the core of the universe. So everything is connected, and you actually have this deep connection with the whole universe through your root chakra, down through the earth, like a magnetic field. So you have energy coming in through the top of the body, coming all the way down, and then sending down to the center of the earth. And then the earth also pours up energy through that path, back up through the body and out through the crown. And the energy that reaches down from the root chakra is tapped into this sense of safety, security, strength, endless, boundless energy and resources that come from the center of the all that is, that come from the womb of creation, that come from the all of everything. And in this rootedness, now just allow yourself to play here. Allow your imagination to embrace the ideas here. Because this is just my way in. But I'm inviting you to come into this place using the root chakra. So from this space, we are in fact connected to every generation before us, every generation after us, and to every living beingness on this planet. So from that place, if there is no time, if we can see ourselves stretching out through connection to every ancestor we've had before us and to our future selves and to our future grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-great-grandchildren, then we are surrounded by the strength of family. Now, I know this is really hard. This is really abstract for trying to remember on a daily basis. But I'm wanting to plant a little seed at the base of your spine. A little seed that maybe is allowed to grow, where that seed brings with it the ability to more and more and more, when you are faced with uncertainty, when you're faced with intensity, when you're faced with stress, when you have to have strength even though you don't know how to carry on, that you can tap into this knowing that you are connected to all of humanity, that you are connected to a bigger story, that the story has been going along for quite some time. You know, the human race is just a blip on the lifeline of the earth, but in terms of our time and our reckoning, there's quite a span of memory from when we first learned how to walk upright to these civilizations that we have today. And there's so much knowing, so much love, so much compassion, so much tenacity in those connections. So much we can draw from those connections into our everyday. So I invite you to stay seated in your root chakra. With the eyes closed, allow yourself for just a moment, for a couple breaths here, to envision your ancestors, to envision the elders that actually sit in circle with you, that are constantly present with you, both in your DNA for real. Those memories are passed on, both positive and negative. So we're focusing on the positive, we're focusing on the strengths. We're drawing on that information physically and energetically and feeling our hands linked with those ancestors, with those elders. What does that feel like to you? What images does that conjure up? How does it make your heart feel? And then also, see if you can feel into the future and feel your future self. What message would you like to give your future self that can help that future self find strength, that can help that future self to remember your connection to your ancestors, your connection to all of self, your connection to the universe? Can you send that future self, your future selves, that message? And generations to come. So your future grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren, sending them a message of strength and connection and being one with the all that is. Really feel that. Keep the breath nice and deep. Allow yourself to breathe into that space. Really feel that connection, those connections. Now, hopefully, your body has calmed down and you're feeling a little bit stronger in your heart and in your gut. Try to remember that the stories that your mind plays are not real. What is real is the self behind the ego, is the self that is connected to the all that is. That is where you will find your true strength and protection and sense of safety and home. Bringing that attention down from the A drive all the way into your root chakra and remembering how connected you really are. So maybe after participating in this little energy practice as a way to help yourself feel that connection, go and cook yourself some good food. Maybe you bake something. Spend some time in the kitchen or maybe cleaning a part of your house. Don't think of it as a chore. Think of it as a way for you to weave your hands back into reality and through intention become more grounded, more centered, more feeling safe, feeling more safe in your surroundings, feeling more organized, feeling more protected and connected. Thank you for being here, my dear friend. Let's take one more deep breath in together. And on the exhale, let's bring the palms together at the heart. Bowing chin to chest, mind intelligence to the body intelligence. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And thank you for letting me be your humble guide. Let me know how this practice goes for you, and I can't wait to see you next time. The light in me honors, cherishes, and is in awe of the light in you. Namaste.